What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman here for Stokastic.com, back again with those NFL DFS contenders on FanDuel for Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman, only place you'll get any updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. Let me know in the comments section, what do you like in this video? What do you dislike? Where do you agree? Where do you disagree? I want to know it all. Let me know in the comments. And then finally, I need you guys to go sign up at Prize Picks, presenting sponsor of this video. If you click the link in the description, make a deposit. They will match that deposit up to $100. So if you've only got 20 bucks, that's fine. They'll match with 20. If you got 100, they will match with $100. Plenty of tools at Stokastic.com that I think will help you out tremendously here. You don't need an optimizer for this one. You're picking player props, over-unders. You can net up to 10x your entry fee if you get 5 of them right. So go check out Prize Picks. And now we're going to round out the bottom of my top 10 with Brett Mayer, Zeke, Noah Brown, Mike Evans, and Tony Pollard on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It is time to find out. In first at number 5, we've got Dalton Schultz. Didn't expect this one, but he is 9K, projected for just under 10 fantasy points. Dallas, 2.5-point dogs here against Tampa, 50-point total. Schultz has basically no chance to go for north of 30. And for some strange reason, this is showing that he has a 101% chance to go for under 10. That is not a correct number, and it is copied over wrong. Ignore it for now. Here's the big piece for Dalton Schultz. To me, he's got a 1% chance of being optimal at the MVP spot. It's going to be very difficult for Schultz to be the highest scorer on this slate. I don't think it's all that likely. But I do think it's likely for him to be an outstanding utility player, flex play, 34% of the time, in fact. So 35% likelihood that Dalton Schultz is in the optimal lineup. About 1/3 of the time, that is where you will see him. Next up at number 4, we're going to CeeDee Lamb. He's 14K, projected for 14 fantasy points. Dallas, as I mentioned before for Schultz, underdogs 2.5 points here. 14% likelihood for Lamb to go for north of 30. I corrected the video in between these two guys. You guys didn't even know. 25% chance to go for less than 10. He's your optimal MVP 12% of the time. He's optimal at utility 25% of the time. It's hard for him to get into that utility / flex spot because 14K is a pretty healthy price tag. You start to narrow down your options. But even still, he's so much more frequently going to be the highest scorer on this slate that he's able to make up that ground on Dalton Schultz and slightly pass him, get to that number 4 spot. But if you can, I don't mind the idea of playing CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz, and quite possibly their quarterback. In at number 3, I mentioned him on my DraftKings video. I'm mentioning him here again. This is my favorite play of the slate. That would be $13,500 Leonard Fournette, projected for 15 fantasy points. Tampa, the favorites here, so maybe they get out in front and they lean on Fournette even more. 7% chance to go for more than 30. You're certainly going to need him there. 10% chance that he's your optimal MVP, so you can even get by with like 27 or 28 to get into that MVP spot. 14% chance to go for less than 10, but 34% likelihood that he's also optimal at flex or utility. He's 45% in the optimal, just shy of that coin flip spot, but as you can see, took a pretty sizable step ahead of CeeDee Lamb. 8% is no joke, so Fournette is sort of on a tier of his own. The top 2 guys are definitely on their own tier, and you're not going to be surprised to see 2 quarterbacks there, but I think Fournette is firmly 3, and the ownership doesn't appear to be pulling behind Fournette. I'm heavier on the MVP spot. I'm heavier at the flex. I just like Lenny Fournette this week. Now at number 2, we're going to Dak. He's 15,500, projected for 19 fantasy points. You know that they're going to be throwing. You can see Lamb and Schultz and Pollard all here in the list. 21% chance that Dak goes for north of 30. You're going to be very happy if that happens. That's a high likelihood. The bust of under 10 is basically impossible, barring injury. 24% chance that he's your optimal MVP. 31% at the flex spot. This generally happens for me. I like the quarterbacks a lot more at the MVP spot than I do at the utility spot. I think it's very hard. I think they're over-owned at the flex spot just because when you start putting Dak and or Brady into those flex spots, you're really reducing the amount of salary you have in your other spots. So if I don't have him in the MVP, he's generally going to be a bit too owned for me at flex. You can still get there for sure, but it makes you have a very difficult build to put around, particularly at the amount of ownership that these guys are pulling. But either way, Prescott on his own tier above Leonard Fournette. I just wonder, where does Tom Brady rank? Before we get to that number one contender, one last reminder. I need you to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. I need you to follow me on Twitter, and I need you guys, you're following me on Twitter at Josh Engleman, by the way, and I need you guys to hop in the comment section and let me know what you like and dislike for my data here today for Sunday Night Football. And then don't be afraid to sign up at Prize Picks using the link in the description of this video. And then we close it out with Tom Brady, $16K, so he's $500 more expensive than Dak, but it doesn't seem to matter. Projected for 20.5. They're the favorites here, and unless Father Time caught up with Brady in the offseason, he still looks like the best possible play you can find tonight. 33% chance to go for north of 30. You know that he's going to find every single weapon on the field. I don't know how long this guy's going to play, but if he's going to continue to be the number one option on a showdown slate, it's probably a lot longer than just this year if he wants to do it. 31% chance he is your optimal MVP, 28% at the flex, and this makes sense to me. Tom Brady can have a monster day, and you would not be surprised at all to see like 5 different guys have touchdowns and 10 different guys catch passes. That's just sort of the way that he rolls here. So I love getting to Brady at the MVP. He's more of a fade to me at the flex, given the way that we see his current ownership. But it's very easy to say this: Tom Brady is your number one contender for tonight. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NFL DFS contenders on FanDuel for Sunday Night Football, Bucs and Cowboys. DraftKings version of this video is around here somewhere, so check it out. Good luck tonight, everybody, on the main slate and on your showdown and single game stuff for tonight. Keep your eyes peeled, though. I will be back tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.